At their highly publicized GDC 2019 panel, Google formally announced their introduction into the gaming industry. With Google Stadia, they've declared their intent to be a major force in the market. And while there are still some things that they haven't yet shared with us, such as pricing for one, there was plenty that they did share. Here in this feature, we'll be compiling the 15 biggest talking points from the unveiling of Google Stadia. What it's all about. Rather than being a platform that's all about the games, Stadia is instead looking to expand its horizons. Not that it's not about games, but it's also about developers, streamers, and those who play games themselves. That was a major through line throughout the entire unveiling. Not a box. Something else that Google is very adamant on, Stadia is not a box, it's not a console, it's a platform that runs entirely on cloud streaming and can run on anything from your laptop to your computer to your phone, your tablet, your Chromecast, your TV, you get the gist. How it works. But how exactly does it work? Well, it works the way that you'd expect such a large-scale cloud-based operation to work. Google has over 7,500 nodes across the globe that it will be using to run any and all games available on the service/platform, which will be streamed directly to your screen. The controller. You can use Stadia with any controller you have, is what Google have said. They haven't gone into the specifics, of course, but we assume that that means all major console controllers will work. But Google have, of course, built their own controller as well. The point of the controller seems to be that some of Stadia's most integral features and social connectivity, which we'll get into in a bit, are accessible only through this controller. Stadia games and entertainment. But of course, no service is of any real interest, regardless of what impressive technologies it uses or doesn't use, until it has the games that can draw in a crowd. For this purpose, Google have set up their own first-party development division, Stadia Games and Entertainment, led by industry veteran Jade Raymond. Release. So when exactly does Stadia launch? While Google haven't talked about a specific release date, they did confirm that Stadia would be going live this year itself. The service will initially be available in the US, UK, Canada, and Europe, so it's not a worldwide launch. 4K plus 60 FPS. Streaming your games to your screens at 1080p and 60 frames per second is the bare minimum Stadia will be aiming for, but of course, Google has confirmed that it'll be capable of more than that. 4K and 60 FPS support has been confirmed, while Google also mentioned that 8K support is also coming. In their own words, in fact, 8K is inevitable. Dev support. So what games can we expect to play on Stadia when it launches? Assassin's Creed Odyssey has been confirmed, as has Doom Eternal. Doom, in fact, will run at 4K and 60 frames per second. Beyond Ubisoft and id Software, Tequila Works, developers of Rime, and Japanese developer Q Games will also be supporting the platform. There will be more games added to the list, of course, but so far, these are the ones that have been formally announced. Specs. There is no box as far as Stadia is concerned, which means it will be doing its computing on hardware in Google's server stacks. So what are the specs of each unit of these server stacks? Quite impressive, actually. They have a custom AMD GPU with 10.7 teraflops of power, HBM2 memory, and 56 compute units. Their CPUs use a custom x86 processor with a clock speed of 2.7 GHz and an AVX2 SIMD. The memory specs are quite impressive as well. With a 16 GB of total RAM, a bandwidth of up to 484 GB per second, a 9.5 MB L2 plus L3 cache, along with SSD storage. Crowdplay. And here's where we get into the social, streaming-centric aspects of Stadia, which very much seem to be among its biggest focuses. Crowdplay is chief among those, which is essentially a feature that allows you to jump into a stream you're watching and then play with that feature. This will happen through a section in the YouTube UI that'll allow you to sign up to do so, at which point you'll be put into a queue-based lobby to play with the streamer. Crossplay. Google Stadia will of course all be enabled with cross-platform play, which seems to be in line with the platform's social focus and connectivity features. We can assume that includes PC and mobile devices, while Microsoft and Nintendo also seem like a safe bet. Sony? Well, who can ever tell with them? Stream Connect. Stream Connect is another feature that emphasizes the social elements of gaming, though in a much more localized form. To be clear, we're talking about local split-screen co-op here. Each player's section of the screen will essentially be treated as a separate Stadia instance, which hypothetically means no sacrifices to image or frame rate quality. Style transfer. The three-pronged approach of Google Stadia is to focus on streamers, viewers, and developers. The bit that focuses on the latter is style transfer. Through machine learning, style transfer will allow developers to automatically and quickly apply new textures, backgrounds, art, and more to environments within games at a moment's notice, hypothetically at least. YouTube connectivity. Integration with YouTube is of course to be expected, but what's surprising is how far Google says it's going to go. Just like Crowdplay, the YouTube UI will also receive a new addition that will allow you to go to official videos of games supported on Stadia and simply click a button in the video itself to jump right into the game. Google claims the entire process takes no more than 5 seconds. Google Assistant. YouTube connectivity, however, won't just be limited to playing games. While you are playing games, and you find you need to check a walkthrough or a guide, all you need to do is use the Google Assistant, which automatically gives you the top result on YouTube for your search. Watch the guide on the same device you're playing on, then switch back to the game, and you're all good to go.
And that wraps it up. If you like what we're doing, please consider subscribing to our channel. We upload new videos daily, so make sure you don't miss them by subscribing. We appreciate your support, and we thank you for checking us out.